god! Oh my god. This might be a double digit. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Fray Experience. And in this episode, we decided to go launch at a totally different area and run some new waters. So with that being said, guys, with California being on fire figuratively and literally, we've had triple digit heats for the last 2 weeks straight. And the day that I decided to go out was going to be 115. It's this hot. Those Delta bass have two options. One, they go out there and they suspend on those deeper banks, whether it be tules, grass edges, or rock banks. So you target those suspended fish with your chatterbaits, your crankbaits, your rattle traps, your jerkbaits. Stick to the other option, and that is hitting that grass, guys. Punch in the grass, finding overhanging cover, which is shade, vines, or hyacinth. Here, you really only need 3 rods on your deck. You don't need to overthink this or overcomplicate everything, and keep it tried, true, and simple. That being said, of course, guys, a frog, you guys seen it in almost all my Delta videos. I've only been frogging or punching. 711 Lew's Super Duty Speed Stick with my modified frog. I'm not going to go into great detail about the modified frog unless you guys would like to see a video about that. Rod number 2 is a 7.6 heavy custom Lew's Speed Stick. This is the punch setup. Got it paired up with 65-pound braid. And this time of year, guys, when it gets super duper hot and that grass is just absolutely taking over, the vines are getting thick and the hyacinth is just getting pushed into the corners or in the areas and it's getting super duper tight, I like to upgrade to a bigger weight. I prefer 1.5, 1 3/4, or up to 2 ounce depending on the situation and how thick everything is. Punch bait of choice of this entire year. I've been catching a lot of good ones and big ones on this, and that is Strike King Magnum Rage Menace. Absolute killer. And if you guys would like to get some of these rods or take a look at the lineup, link in the description, we'll send you on over to Lew's, where you can take a look at the rods that I like and then use code FRAY at checkout to get your purchase started off with a bang. Also with Strike King as well. They got a great lineup of baits and a lot of great colors here for California. Take a look at some of their stuff and I guarantee you will not be disappointed. And the third rod that you will be needing is a finesse style bait. I don't like to finesse on the Delta, but when the bite gets tough and it's triple digits and that water temp is about 83 to 85 degrees and it's super duper hot, you gotta throw a finesse style bait, whether it be a drop shot, Texas rig, or a Senko. Fish are being really lethargic and they're not wanting to eat, and you're having a dead stick of bait, I believe, and dropping down a line diameter. I will never throw anything over 8-pound test on the Delta when I'm trying to finesse. Flipping a Senko, whether it be 7-inch, is a little bit different. I may bump up to 12, but when I'm realistically throwing a drop shot or a wacky rig Senko or a wacky rig trick worm, which is a secret out there, I like to go 6 to 8. That they don't see a lot on the Delta is a 7-inch trick worm style wacky rigged bait. This right here is the Strike King Finesse Worm. There's 3 colors I throw: watermelon, watermelon red, and watermelon purple swirl. And the reason behind that is one, it's a great color and it catches a lot of fish. I like to rig this bait is just a simple O-ring, flip it around, and double notch it so it creates this little X right there. You put your hook into it and it holds that bait on there really good. Why I like to throw this more than a Senko is because it falls so much slower. It really truly does. I cannot get over how slow this bait falls. With a Senko, it's got that typical, they see a lot of it. This right here, this thing flips up like this and falls down like this, and it starts shaking. Another great thing I like to do with these, because these fall so slow and the action is so great on them, is when that current starts to pick up, I'll go hit those hyacinths or those vines, and I will flip this to the edge of it or about 3 feet away from it, slowly let it fall and let that current just push that bait up underneath that structure, because we all know that there's fish underneath that hyacinth or the vines, because unlike us, fish don't have sunglasses, so they got to get out of the sun if they want to cool down and give their eyes some rest. And with that bait being up underneath it, just sits there and just starts shimmy shammering down like that. The current keeps it up higher in the water column, and those fish just tend to come over and just absolutely crush it. Because I know those vines that's anywhere from 10 to 15 feet deep, they're not down at the bottom. Those fish are severely suspended. They're at most 3 feet underneath it, unless they're out on the edge. Then they'll be a little bit deeper. But I'll quit talking. Let's get into the video. Oh my god! Oh my god! Giant! 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 This was the last cast of the day, guys. Oh my god. Oh my God, this might be a double digit. Oh my God. Oh my God. Could this be my first double digit on the Delta? Oh my gosh. Guys, look at that. Whenever, especially in the summertime, guys, when you get these big ones, really, really take care of them. Make sure that they get a lot of water in there. Get water going. There she goes. Finally. Wow, and that's the size. Super hot, super duper small. And of course he came off the pump. Of course. Out here deeper too, and he's got me in the thick stuff too. Doesn't feel all that big. That might be our biggest of the day, sadly. Yep, it's gonna be our biggest of the day, sadly. I hate throwing the drop shot on the Delta, especially when I'm trying to make a video, because I just know from personal experience of watching YouTube videos, drop shot videos on the Delta or Senko videos are not fun at all. But I'm hoping this isn't going to be an all-day thing of where I'm having to fish out just a little bit deeper. It's a big old grass flat, even though on a high tide. The tide is kind of going out, but it's going out pretty slow. Low tide, I believe, is at like 11:30, 12 o'clock. And I thought these fish would be tucked up in some of this grass around these tulies. I could throw a frog for them. Something. Wave, it just absolutely killed the bite. Oh boy, it's gonna be those days of just dead sticking a bait. Problem is they're just tiny. So basically, guys, I'm having some issues right now on catching fish. The last couple places I've gone, I'm running into the same problem. It's shallow and the grass comes out for about 15 foot and it's just basically just right there to the surface, maybe 4 or 5 inches, and it just drops off heavy into the channel. And for some reason I could never seem to catch fish on areas that are like that. So finally now found some areas where there's about 4 to 5 foot of grass, of clear water above the grass, and the tulies are a little bit deeper. And he came off. Wow. This fish is not big whatsoever, but gosh darn it, he is fighting hard. And he's fat too. That's a good sign. Okay, so I'm starting to get the rough idea of what is going on right now in this area. You gotta find those big old steep banks like this right here that just drop straight off right there at the base of the tulies, and unfortunately it's gonna get shallow again. But that fish came right there at the base of the tulies. So I'm wondering, did I just get bit? I think I just got bit. I think I freaking did. I was just about to say, I think I need to put the bait as close as I can to the tulies with this punch setup and make sure that I keep bringing it up and hitting the hyacinth.